Welcome to another episode of the Occasionally Relevant Gaming Show. I'm Phil D.
And I'm Scott G.
Well, Scott.
Well, Philip.
How you doing?
Doing good, man. How about yourself?
Pretty good. Pretty good.
Been playing any interesting games recently? Anything standing out?
I've been playing the same things.
I got you.
I've been
Since
playing
the last episode.
the same things.
Same things.
Yeah, I've actually been kind of neglecting everything over this last week. I haven't played much of Squadrons. That's about the only thing that I've really touched.
Yeah.
I've been looking at all the new stuff that's coming out, but I've been working on music, so I haven't played a whole bunch of games this last week. But there's definitely some things to talk about.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So starting off, I really like this home circuit thing.
Yeah, we were watching that trailer earlier, and I knew about the home circuit.
Mm-hmm.
Because of my Switch, and of course they had that 35 years of Mario thing come out, which is the reason we got the
collection.
The Super Mario 3D All-Stars. We also got this kind of multiplayer I guess Survivor Battle Royale where you just play through Mario 1 levels.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
You saw that. I played it for a little bit. It didn't really light the fire, if you know what I mean. It's a really cool concept, and it's really interesting. But again, it's just one of those things. It's like popcorn. You eat it, and then you forget about it.
It looked weird, especially having the other people's screens kind of going on the side, that whole thing.
Well, it makes it a lot more chaotic.
Yeah.
And that's fine for that type of game, But yeah, what we were talking about, the home circuit.
Explain this home circuit to
Okay, so the home circuit is one of those weird things that Nintendo seems to be doing this generation. They're really have always done. It kind of goes back to even Rob the Robot, where they
all the way to Rob,
all the way back to Rob, man, for real. Because they've always I think Nintendo realizes that video games are essentially toys, so they're always trying to pair toys with a console, and and really trying to experiment with how to play video games in new interesting ways. So basically what the Mario home circuit is, it kind of goes back again to Rob the Robot mixed with Labo, kind of situation where it's this augmented reality Mario Kart, where you have an RC racer in the shape of a cart with either Luigi or Mario, and you can set up these cardboard what are they, checkpoints? Kind of thing, and create your own circuit, and it would be augmented reality in your house. So it's just like you have Mario Kart people racing around your house.
Super cool.
Is what it looks like.
Mm-hmm.
But
right now they only have Luigi and Mario.
Absolutely.
They are $100 a piece. We're not sure if you can connect the two of them together to make a bigger circuit.
I'm sure that you could. I'm sure there's got to be a 2-player function, but the problem is I think you would have to have 2 separate Switch.
2 switches, man.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's a hard sell.
The price to entry, if you
don't have Switches.
If you don't have a Switch, this isn't going to sell the system.
No.
That's a little high of an entry. But if you already have the Switch, and if you, again, this looks like something really fun that you could do with your kids.
I mean, I thought about getting it for my daughter. If I potentially get a Switch, which I'll talk about that in just a second.
Yeah.
Then I might,
That would be a really cool little fun thing. And especially if they could, if you could kind of play 2-player, if they had a 2-player feature.
Yeah.
To where you could play with her.
Man, if you didn't have to have a second Switch to do 2-player, then
that's what I'm talking about.
Ideal.
It's if somehow they could have it where you could actually hook up, say you bought the Mario and the Luigi packet, that way you could potentially do a bigger circuit.
Yeah.
And you had 2 RC cars, so you could potentially play 2-player. What if you could just connect another set of Joy-Cons to one system and then play it in console mode and kind of do it split screen?
Yeah, or a Pro controller or whatever.
Yeah. However, that would be that would make sense. But if you need a second Switch,
yeah,
just to use the thing in multiplayer, then that's
a little tedious.
That's
a
little tedious,
And it's asking a pretty penny, because that's $300 a Switch, $100 for a cart, so that's an $800 setup for 2 kids if you want them to both have this thing.
Yeah.
I don't know. Very cool though.
It's a neat idea. It is a really neat idea, and it would be interesting to see if this is somewhat successful.
Yeah.
Like,
I want to dry bones.
Yeah, exactly. If they
Give
would
me a shy guy.
maybe they would sell the carts themselves individually without the software.
Oh yeah.
Of some kind. It could be like an amiibo thing.
Oh yeah. If they did something along those lines, that would probably work. But I don't know. I'm not sure how this is going to go moving forward. I kind of think this might be one of those, well, that was cool. Now we giving up on it.
Yeah, this might be one of those things where it's just like they didn't have to sink a lot of money into producing it too much.
They probably make a decent amount.
And they probably make a decent amount. And just because Mario's 35th anniversary was coming up, they were just like, well, this is a thing to try.
People like shit.
Yeah.
They like buying whatever,
Yeah, but neat little concept.
It is a neat concept though. Yeah, check it out. You should definitely check out a video of it. And like I said, I'm really thinking about getting a Switch, and I'm thinking about trading some things in, which is kind of what our main focus of this episode is going to be about.
Yeah, and we'll dive into that a little bit more.
I will get around to that.
Yeah,
and talk about that weird garbage that I'm trading in. So, you said something to me about like Double Fine. They're releasing their.
Oh yeah, so Double Fine. Let's see. In 2019, was actually acquired by Microsoft.
Yeah.
And since then, last year they've been re-releasing some pretty somewhat high-profile Double Fine games
as they continue to tease Psychonauts 2.
Absolutely, yeah. So Psychonauts 2 actually got pushed back until next year. So it's all right. Everything's delayed right now.
But not Cyberpunk. That shit's gone gold. That shit's ready. I'm ready for it.
Yeah. But anyways, but Microsoft remastered a couple of games, but here's the news, because that's all stuff that you guys already knew. But it's actually, those games are actually going to be available on Game Pass.
Yeah.
If you want to pick them up. So Grim Fandango remastered, Day of the Tentacle remastered, and Full Throttle.
Yeah, man. Full Throttle's funny.
Yeah.
It's kind of like biker gang, like comedic, cartoony biker gang humor thing.
I know what it is.
It's good.
I've never played it. It's one of those games that always ends up on. I always see on like worst games of all time.
Oh wow, really?
Yeah,
it's funny.
Yeah. And that's pretty much what most people say. It's just like, hey, look, this game is actually really funny, and it's a neat concept, but the mechanics and the controls are fucking jank.
They're bad.
And that's what turns a lot of people off.
I think out of the 3 of those, Day of the Tentacle is my jam. That's the one. Yeah, that's the one I think is the best. I like point and clicks in general. That point and click isn't too bad. It's it's not a first person point and click though.
Yeah,
it's
absolutely.
like the like you were talking about Monkey Island.
Yeah, it's old.
That kind of thing,
old school adventure game.
Yeah, side scroller.
All 3 of these games are like that. Yeah.
And Grim Fandango is a little different because it's 3D. It's just very simple.
But the mechanics themselves pretty much work. You progress in pretty much the same ways in all 3 of these games.
Do the thing on the thing.
Yeah, rub the thing on the thing.
Rub the thing on the thing.
And hope something happens.
That's it. Yeah. Will you use key on key?
Yeah.
Yeah, that didn't do anything. Weird.
Well, the thing is in these come from an era where it's not even that straightforward.
Yeah.
It's one of those things where it's just like, you'll rub an apple on a doorknob.
Like, that worked.
Oh, it worked. Okay. I don't know why that worked.
It did.
It's
what it called for.
Yeah. I need to get a cat out of a tree. Do you bazooka it out of the tree?
So speaking of antiquated crap, what's up with this Atari console?
Okay, so I just found out about this. Apparently, Atari's trying to get back into the console area.
They're trying to fail upward.
Well, they're kind of doing that thing that they've already been doing, just on a larger scale. It seems like.
Yeah.
So those game boxes that you can get that have like 100 games on them, and they're just they're like an off brand of the console. You know what I mean? You can find them in like pretty much any gaming store. You know what I'm talking about, though.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, those like. You just plug it into the TV and you're ready to go.
101s.
Exactly. So apparently they're doing that, but officially, the console itself is going to come with 100, they say, retro classic games. So obviously, from the golden age of Atari, we don't know which ones yet. They haven't released that I know of. The system comes with 2 controllers plus those games already on it. And all the stuff that you need to hook it up.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. And it costs $390 for that. So that's your barrier to entry, guys. Now, that's cool. I like old Atari games every once in a while. But at the same time,
that's a pretty penny.
That's a pretty penny, and plus, it's okay. So here's the thing: they're really going hard on digital. Like this isn't going to have like a physical. Like a disk drive version, I don't think they're really going to be putting out too many older, new games. Like I don't think they're like going to be producing any new games for this. I think this is primarily just a digital storefront for retro games,
which is kind of cool. Yeah. So you said something about tokens, man.
Yeah. So that's what I was getting at. So along with this new console, they're releasing a kind of cryptocurrency that ends up adding up to like 25 cents per token. So say you could drop $1 and that's 4 tokens.
So is this an arcade? Are you paying per play and stuff? Is that the way this is going to work?
I didn't think about that. I was thinking more of it like a digital storefront, kind of like the Apple Store,
the word token though bothers me. You understand what I mean?
Yeah, where it's like if you die in a game, you have to keep putting quarters
Insert more tokens.
So they're recreating the actual arcade experience at home.
I hope their cryptocurrency has a picture of Pac-Man on it.
Yeah.
Because if it doesn't, then it really won't recreate the arcade experience.
Exactly.
I could see this going really poorly. That's all.
I don't really see this being much of a thing for very long.
Yeah.
I mean, it makes sense. It makes sense for Atari to do this, honestly.
Because what else are they going to do?
Because what else are they going to do? No one really gives a fuck about them beyond their classic shit, And it makes sense to try to get into the digital market before, because that seems to be where a lot of game consoles are going now.
Yeah.
You have digital only consoles now. So they're trying to slip in a little retro vibe into that market, and that's fine. That's cool. Good on them.
Yeah.
I wish it was a little bit cheaper. I'd probably be more interested in it. That's kind of the only thing holding me from getting it at this point.
That's an expensive box.
Because just with those 100 games.
I mean, dude, a PS5 costs the same amount as this fucking thing.
But like what I was saying is like with those tokens, I was thinking like, okay, so you pay for so many tokens, and then maybe they have like a digital storefront with other games beyond those 100.
That's not what it sounds like.
That's
though, does
okay.
it?
But now that you say that, that's even shittier and kind of makes me not want it at all. Because if you die in the game, then you have to buy more tokens.
Think about that,
dude. It's like that fucking free to play shit on fucking cell phones. They're taking
and they're like,
back.
well, you've died too many times today.
Yeah,
you don't get any more free play, but you could buy some lives. You know,
and maybe there's like
bucks.
maybe they have like a thing set up like with those free to play games where at a certain point you can actually earn tokens for play.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I bet not. Though.
But they're trying to catch some whales with this.
They want a $400 box that you have to pay per play.
Yeah.
That's what they want. That's what it sounds like to me. When you could just go buy a PS5 and get PlayStation
the
Plus.
The ideal games industry for the game industry.
But instead, you could get this PlayStation Plus and get this PlayStation collection that they're doing now.
Yeah. That was interesting. You were talking about that earlier. What's up with this PS Plus collection?
I think this is
because this sounds
big,
neato.
This is a big sales point for getting a new PS5. I mean, We were already talking about the cool
Honestly,
idea.
It's a big sales point for just getting PS Plus in general.
Of course, yeah.
You know.
It's not on the PS4.
Boo.
Yeah. This is a PS5 exclusive thing. Yeah.
Well, fuck me.
Yeah. So it's not like you can get the PS4.
Never mind. I'm not interested anymore.
Yeah. It's shit on your parade, didn't it? Yeah.
But anyways,
this is an incentive for PlayStation 5 users.
Oh, absolutely.
Right. So if you have PlayStation Plus already, or if you get PlayStation Plus when you get a PS5, you'll get access to the top 100 PlayStation 4 games immediately. So you'll just be able to download them, play them. It seems like some of them they're talking about having enhancements, like potentially having patches. Like I want to say Ghost of Tsushima is one of the ones that's already confirmed to have like upgrades and all that, and there's got to be a handful of others. I mean, come on, there's no way God of War doesn't like look a little bit better and things like this. But the good part about it is that any game that was throttled by the power of the PS4 is probably just straight up going to run better on the PS5.
Well, yeah, and that's
Let us
more.
hope,
That's less to do with them like updating the actual software, more just that the PS5 is going to be a beefier,
strong
machine.
boy. It's
a
strong boy.
It's a big boy.
That's right. It is a big, tall router that will crank your games out real fast.
Yeah.
So the idea of getting access to all these games. I mean, I bought the PS5 that has a disc drive, because I have quite a few games on disc, and I thought I'm gonna need it so that I can play my PS4 games. And then they released this. I'm like, shit.
We are to quote the RX Bandits, analog boys in a digital world.
That's right. Yeah. We are. Yeah. And so this this is really good, but at the same time it just kind of makes me go, well, wait, so why'd I get the disc console again?
Yeah, yeah. Well, and again, really the only reason you get a disc console at this point, is just because you want that physical, that tangible quality, that act of actually putting a disc in. You don't want to lose that. Again, you don't want to lose the tactile feel of owning a game.
HD Blu-ray player.
Absolutely. And plus the whole idea of they could automatically update a game, and if you wanted to keep the vanilla version, you could actually do that if you had a physical copy. Yeah. Kind of thing. But that's like getting into conspiracy talk, and that's not what we do on this channel. But I see what you're saying. Like, there's not really a lot of need for a disk drive at this point.
No. Not really. Not really. And
because it's not like you're probably going to have most of the games digitally just on the PS Plus collection.
Yeah.
That
at
you
least
would
all
want,
the PS4 ones.
Exactly, all the PS4 ones that you either already have physically, or you don't even need to buy them physically anymore.
I mean, because I have a bunch of these games that I have laying around that I'm thinking, oh, okay, cool. As soon as I get my PS5, I'm going to pop these in and see how they play.
Yeah.
Like I said, Last Guardian, Bloodborne, God of War.
Yeah.
Guess what?
Shadow of the Colossus HD.
All of those. And all of those are in this collection.
Yeah. So
well, fuck. Okay.
Fine.
So I'm pretty down with it, because I mean I'll.
It sounds interesting. It's like their answer to
Game Pass.
Game Pass.
Mm-hmm.
It's exactly what it is.
And I think that it will work especially for people that had an Xbox that are like, well, I would like to get a PlayStation and it'd be cool to play all those PS4 games, but I don't want to have to buy them all. No, you don't have to. Here you go.
Yeah.
Here you go.
You just got them.
There's that collection of games that you didn't get to play because you were on the Xbox side. Well, that's a really good incentive for Xbox gamers to get a PS5.
Absolutely.
You get a digital one, you get PlayStation Plus, you already have 100 games that you didn't get to play because you didn't have them last generation.
Yeah.
Cool.
It's awesome.
So what do you think about the UI though? They just revealed it,
It's I mean, it looks cool. I'd have to actually play with it myself to know about like the feel.
I still feel that way too.
You know, but they're putting in some really cool quality of life features that they didn't have on the last console. Yeah. It really feels like a updated version. Like, so if you know the UI for the Switch, it really does feel like a kind of updated version of that.
It seems very similar.
Yeah, it functions pretty much the same. You know, because you can you push the PlayStation button and it brings up your home screen and it doesn't exit you out of the game, you know, so there's that whole thing. Yeah. You know, you can go online and it has a lot of quality of life features that I think are interesting. But yeah.
Yeah. Other than that though, like,
I don't think it looks all that impressive.
It looks whatever. You know. I don't know. We'll see.
Just aesthetically. It looks like it functions great.
Yeah.
You know, just aesthetically, I wish there was something a little more going on. Yeah.
Yeah, it's okay, man.
But that's how I generally feel about PlayStation.
They could always update it down the line.
Yeah.
You know, we don't know.
But that saying, the Switch one is aesthetically as well is kind of
Yeah.
I wish they'd let you customize that a little bit more.
Yeah.
Like, I wish they let you have themes and shit.
Well, I will say, it seems like it's real zippy.
This UI absolutely. The UI looks real fast, and a lot of that can be attributed to the hardware inside of the system. Yeah,
but
absolutely.
Dude,
that's awesome. Yeah,
and it seems like I like the picture-in-picture thing.
Yeah, that's really cool. Like for you know, obviously they're not gonna let you streaming, but this has a lot of quality of life things in it that would be really good for streamers.
It seems like that's actually what they're going for. They just haven't fully shown all this. They're gonna have,
but it's just like they have to be. It wouldn't be like you would like record a playthrough or something and then immediately be able to put it on YouTube without some kind of like capture card or like rerouting through like a PC or something like that.
They are trying to do that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Which you can already do that with these systems. What I'm talking about is just like, you know, straight from the PlayStation onto the thing. And you can kind of do that, but it's like approved things. So I don't know if they're going to approve like Twitch or YouTube. You see what I'm saying? Because all it had shown on there was Twitter.
Okay,
so I don't know if you would be.
I see what you're saying. It did only show Twitter. I have a feeling though that they'll allow you to do it for most of the major platforms. Yeah. Because I mean, with the PS4, you can stream directly to Twitch. It's just a little jank. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you can also save those videos and upload them. But again, it's not the best. So it seems like they're trying to go back through their video editor stuff, their uploading stuff, and make it to where it's all as easy as possible. Yeah.
But it does. I did like that screen thing.
That's cool.
You know, because that would be really cool. Like, say you were, definitely if you were playing online, and not necessarily the same game, but maybe if you were just kind of chatting.
Oh yeah.
So I mean, it seems like there's a lot of quality of life stuff put into it at this point. Less for being able to upload what you're doing and more on the hey, let's build a community.
Oh yeah, totally.
Of gamers kind of side. That's see, you know what I mean?
I do.
Yeah.
I also don't.
So that's really cool. I'm cool with that.
Well, I also don't give a shit about this thing they were showing about popping into certain events in the game. I don't know that. It's whatever, man. It doesn't seem like it's terribly useful to me. Like the games that I play, I don't think that's the way that I'm gonna try to accomplish the goals.
I feel you.
You know.
Yeah. Well, I think that's more for like. Well, okay. So he was showing off this thing where you could basically what we're talking about is where you could jump from certain events, like say different checkpoints. So some kind of fast travel that you would see on like a like collectathon type of game where you could go back to this level and it shows you, hey, you're missing this. This is the thing that you're missing. You need to complete this.
Yeah.
You know, you're only 33% with this section of the game, and you could jump in between them. And that would be interesting. That would be cool for people trying to 100% games. But but I don't think you and I ever really super do that. you know.
Well, I mean, that shit wouldn't work in like a Souls game, for instance.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean?
It's just the kind of games.
Those are the kind of games I play.
Yeah.
They're not going to let you pop into, here, we'll pop you right next to that crystal lizard you forgot.
Yeah.
Fuck you. You got to fight your way there.
Yeah.
You got to die 4,000 times.
It seems like a feature that a lot of... okay, so... It really does seem like a feature, a really unnecessary feature that only a few developers are going to take advantage of.
It also, I mean, I get this thing that they try to do every generation. Like every generation, there's at least one talk that one of the consoles have, if not both of them, where it's like anybody can pick up a controller and play.
Yeah.
You can be completely dumb and figure out how to do all of this.
Yeah.
I mean, like I get it, and they also, want kids to be able to deal with their
and
stuff.
I do
understand.
I do think it is really cool because in that box they actually showed where you could like go online, and like look up maybe Let's Plays, like get help and stuff like that.
Which in that section I do like.
I do like that, because again, I have no problem if I'm having a real hard time with a certain,
looking up how to get.
It's like, okay,
one little
at
thing
least
done.
how far. Yeah. Where do I need to go? Maybe I'm lost and I'm just like, where's the fucking door? Oh, there's the door, and then I pick up and I go from there by myself.
And then you feel like a dummy because the door was right there.
Absolutely, yeah. Oh, I was supposed to do that?
It was that.
And that's really cool. But as far as like bouncing back and forth between objectives, Again, I think it's a quality of life thing that only a handful of games are going to take advantage of.
Agreed. Yeah, and again, in a game like a Soulsborne game, or hell, even in like a fighter or something like that, I could see you wanting to pull up something real quick. How do I do this combo? How do I get this weapon? How do I? Okay, cool. That's cool. I do that on a computer next to me.
Absolutely.
It seems like
there's a JRPG and you're looking for a specific character. Hey, I feel like I've missed a character. Where do I find this guy?
Absolutely. That would have been useful for a game like Breath of the Wild, where there's quite a lot of spots where you're like, I don't know which direction to go. I don't know what they're and it was right there. It was because it was on the side of the mountain and you didn't find it.
Absolutely. Yeah.
But I like the UI. I can't wait to actually try it and not do the things that they did with it, because the problem is that I think the things they were showing are not what I would be doing.
Absolutely, yeah.
Show me what I would do. Read my mind and show me what I would do.
Gosh, Shoney, dropping the ball. Thought those computer chips that they planted into our heads.
Yeah, come on.
Use them, man.
Are you not data mining me?
Yeah. Right.
Fuck. I thought I've waived all of my rights in these user agreements for a reason.
Yeah.
So so here's something that's coming out that I'm excited for. New Guilty Gear.
Oh boy, yeah. That looks real nice.
It's coming out next year, I think April. I think that's what it said, April.
That sounds right.
So we got a minute, but they finally announced my favorite Guilty Gear character, Anji Mito.
Oh, yeah, dude. Because I remember when we were playing it hardcore a couple years back.
It's Anji, man.
Dude, it was all Anji, dude. You whoop up on people with some Anji,
on everybody with Anji.
Mm-hmm.
And up to this point, playing Exerd and Revelator, I played with Leo because Leo is pretty much the closest approximate to Anji.
Yeah.
But now finally my boy is back. There's also a couple of other new characters. There's like a samurai vampire dude that kind of looks like Hakumen.
He's got a really interesting mechanic with him. Yeah, because what is it? Whenever he blocks, he fills up this red bar.
Like a blood bar.
Yeah, underneath him.
Which has 3 sections, right?
Yeah, but you can't let it fill up all the way.
Yeah.
And we never saw what happens because we were watching 2 professional players, fuck with him. So obviously he knew when to stop blocking. It'd
be cool if you were like berserk out or something.
Yeah, but essentially, like, he starts out when the bar is completely in the negative. He starts out really slow, so you kind of want to block for a little bit and build up that bar so he'll move a little bit faster, but it's not like a sustained bar. It actually goes down.
Yeah, it's constantly draining.
Constantly draining and constantly going up. Mm-hmm. So if you got to manage that. So that's an interesting little mechanic.
Yeah.
Little interesting little trick that they do with certain characters in these type of games, you know.
And he was fighting Faust, so it was hard to kind of pay attention to his mechanics because Faust was whackying up the screen.
Yeah, he was.
You know.
Faust looks good, man.
Dude, he looks awesome with his scrubs and everything.
Absolutely.
Oh man,
Dude, he fucking ate him at one point.
He put him in the bag. Just put him. I love Faust. He's definitely always been a favorite of mine. And I'm gonna continue to play with him. So yeah, I'll probably get Strive. Guilty Gear Strive is looking good, just slow. That's it. It's just
slow.
And
I think that's still inherently the bad thing about these 3D 2D games, you know. It's just like that's just inherent to the way that they have to animate these characters now. You know, you add more frames so that it doesn't pop off as quite as well.
It doesn't have that immediate da.
Yeah, absolutely. Because you're actually looking at less frames when in those older games.
Yeah.
And now that everything's rendered pretty much in Unreal Engine, you know, and everything is 3D though that has the perspective of 2D.
Yeah.
You know, you're getting extra frames, so it just doesn't have that punchiness and that speed like it used to. But but it's still pretty good. It's still pretty fast. I mean, it looks great. This is probably one of the best looking 2D fighters.
Whew.
Like for real.
Well, they really have figured out how to perfect that 3D cell shaded anime look.
Absolutely,
they've got it.
They look better than most CG anime.
Yeah, like that for Berserk.
Real. Yeah,
man, damn it. Never mind that. Yeah. So with the Guilty Gear thing, we were talking a lot about arcade sticks.
Yeah, absolutely. Because
so you want to get an arcade stick?
I'd like to get an arcade stick because I got a wild hair up my butt this week and decided I'm going to play some Blaze Blue. And when we used to play back in the day, I would always use a PlayStation controller. But for some reason, this past time I was jamming on it, it just like the PlayStation controller didn't feel well. My hands started cramping.
Yeah,
you know, and I was just like, man, I bet if I had a stick, I would play fighting games more.
Yeah,
like I would play it more. I would play them more. And so I'm thinking about getting one because again, there are a few other fighting games that I want to play. Like I want to get on some older Guilty Gear. I'd like to get back into Street Fighter 3.
Oh yeah,
get some Third Strike going. You know, but anyways,
you can get all those on the PS4,
and I already have most of them.
Yeah. Oh yeah, exactly.
So that's the thing.
Getting a stick for a single console is not too bad. It seems like getting one for multiple consoles becomes pretty expensive. You know.
Yeah, and that's what I figured. And at this point, I would only really want it for PS4.
Okay, yeah. I don't know whether wireless sticks are worth it, to be honest.
Yeah.
Seems like wired are just always going to be around, be better. Plus, you don't have to worry about batteries, charging it and everything.
Absolutely.
The stick that I have, that big X Arcade
stick, dual.
Yeah,
where you have like two. It actually looks like an actual arcade panel.
Yeah, it looks like you ripped the front of an arcade cabinet off.
Absolutely,
yeah. And that thing's really cool. It's American style, so it's got the baseball bat stick and the concave buttons.
Yeah, as opposed to the ball stick.
Yeah, exactly.
The shifter.
Yeah. The shifter, yeah. Which I dig this, and I like the way this one feels, and you can take it apart really easily and switch everything out, so there's all that. But the stick has a board in it that emulates a keyboard. So when you plug it up to computer, it doesn't see it as a controller. It thinks it's a keyboard, and it turns out that when you jam on a keyboard super fast, eventually Windows can only take so many inputs, so it doesn't like it.
Oh, okay.
So especially if you're like throwing 360s around.
Oh yeah. Windows just flip out. What are you typing?
Whoa. And if there's two people doing it at the same time, then you're using this full keyboard and hitting like 18 buttons at once.
At that point, Windows just has a complete mental breakdown. I don't know what you want from me anymore.
Like, fuck you, man. Okay, fuck you. What, do you have those hands from Ghost in the Shell? Is that what you're doing over there?
Shit.
I don't know what's happening, but I don't like it. But so because of that, they finally had to release a new board for the X-Arcade sticks to make it into controllers.
Yeah.
So I'm supposed to be getting this board in the mail. I don't know when, to be honest. It's going to take forever. But it makes it to where it acts like it's two 360 controllers.
Oh, cool.
So you can just plug the shit in. And then there you go. You got two controllers. The thing might even work natively on an Xbox because it's a direct.
Acts as a Xbox controller.
It's an X input controller. Yeah. So maybe it works natively on an Xbox. I don't know.
That would be cool.
But it will work correctly on my PC finally, because we were getting points where the input lag, and this was from,
and I remember that. Shit.
You're trying to play a game and you hit the stick and it would take a long time for it to actually register the input.
And the thing is with these type of games,
you can't do that.
Any amount of lag can be detrimental.
Absolutely. Trying to parry? No, come on, man. Yeah.
No, not at all.
So that's cool. I'll finally have the upgrade to this, and I have the adapter to use it on my PlayStation 4. So I kind of solved my stick issue, hopefully permanently, because I like that stick. You know, maybe it'll take me into the next generation and beyond. But if not, then I'm probably going to be in the same thing, buying a stick.
Yeah.
Because it seems like the way we're looking here, all of the peripherals should work just fine when they need to on these new consoles.
Yeah. Well, and I just think it would be cool to because at this point, if me and you wanted to get online. And jam on like a fighter. Obviously, I probably won't have the new jams for a little while. But
if you got Strive on PS4, you'd be able to play with us on PS5.
See, and it's coming out for PS4, right?
Yeah, it's coming out for both of them.
That's again, coming back to Guilty Gear.
Yeah.
Like, that's kind of why I was thinking, oh, man, I kind of want to stick. Because, again, I was playing some older fighting games and kind of got the bug. And now I see this new hotness is coming out. And I'm like, oh, man, I really want to jam with some Milia. Like, for real.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because that was my main back in the day. And I was just like, man, but I don't want to cramp up my hands on my PS4, And I certainly, not that one's even, anyways. But yeah, I was just like, man, I should really look up some sticks.
Yeah, absolutely.
Haven't done that yet, but, maybe next episode, guys, we'll have an update on some, maybe we'll do like a, top 10 arcade sticks.
Oh man, yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah,
and like I said, looking forward here, it seems like you'll be able to take your arcade stick, take your flight stick, take all that stuff, and just migrate them to the next consoles. The Xbox, seriously, it's the same fucking controller. They updated the D-pad a little bit. Other than that, it's the same controller. I mean, maybe they did some things to fix the problems, but it's the same thing.
It's the same controller.
And then the PlayStation one, they updated things, but they also have completely stated any of these third-party peripherals that were supported on PS4 should work just fine on the PS5.
Right.
Especially for games that already supported them.
Absolutely.
Ace Combat 7 will support the flight stick. Those kind of things.
Yeah.
So I like it that we're getting to that point, like a PC, where moving forward, it's like, just use the things you already bought. Why wouldn't you?
You already bought,
But
exactly.
With the PlayStation 5, you got to use this DualSense for all the new games because they need you to have the tactile feedback. Of pulling a bowstring back with the L2 trick. Oh, man, come on. Whatever. Yeah. Until I feel something really cool with that, I don't know.
Yeah. You don't know about that one.
Yeah. We'll see how much you can feel with this real sense.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I don't believe it. Talking about sand and shit. Like,
again, I mean, like every new generation.
They made my controller sticky.
Nobody wants a sticky controller.
It just secretes honey, and you're like,
Somebody.
This is
whose
the
controller
worst.
is this? Winnie the Pooh's?
Yeah. It's
Winnie the Pooh's controller.
Oh man.
Anyways,
So you can't trade that in after.
no,
it leaks
not
honey,
at
I'll tell you
all.
yeah, let's bring us to the topic of the day: trade-ins.
Trade-ins. So this is something that I'm sure all of us are potentially thinking about right now, seeing as how the next generation is about to be out. So we're currently looking at our collection. What can we trade in? And no matter how you feel about trading in or like buying pre-owned games or stuff like that, that's not what we're talking about, essentially. But I have been looking into trading in a few things, and so I was going through my Switch games because I got a handful, and I like most of them, but I was just like, I don't really play all of these, so what can I get rid of? And came up with this idea of, well, okay, so when are you actually done with the game? I guess is the best primary thesis question for this topic. Okay. So let's say so I have the Japanese imported release of I Am Setsuna.
Oh yeah.
Now, I like that game.
Mm-hmm.
I enjoyed my time with it, but I've only run through it one time, and I don't see myself going back to it. Basically anytime soon.
Yeah.
But I want to hold on to it because that's an imported game and the cover looks cool, and I like the idea that I have it. So I'm not going to trade that in.
It's a shelf game.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
This is something that I can be like, hey, look at this. You see, this is interesting. You don't see this every day.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So just kind of holding on to that just for the just coolness factor of what it is.
I think we got a B.
We got a B.
Sorry, guys.
It's all good.
We're under attack.
Anyways, fuck that B.
Fuck you.
Okay, so but on the other side, I have Bayonetta 2, on the Switch.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not going to trade that in because I haven't played it and I plan on playing it again. So I'm not done with that one.
Did that one come with the first one?
Yes.
That's so cool.
Yeah. But on the so essentially I broke down all my games and it was just like, okay, I'm not getting rid of any of these except for one, and that would be Smash Brothers Ultimate.
Okay.
Yeah.
So why Smash Brothers Ultimate?
So ultimately I'm not wholly, I wouldn't say that I'm like not a fan of Smash Brothers. I just feel like Smash Brothers is one of those games that is more fun to play with other people than it is just by myself fighting the PC.
I can understand that.
So it's really more of a community game.
Yeah.
And like we were talking about before, really any lag in a fighting game is detrimental to your ability to play it, as well as you would want to.
So really what you're saying is that if you were going to play Smash, you'd just go over to Alex's down the street.
Pretty much.
Yeah, I get you on that.
But
dude.
again, it's just like, playing online,
yeah,
which I would prefer to do because then I could just be at my house.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Not that I wouldn't mind hanging out with other people, having them in the room. But it's just, again, it's one of those games. It's just like, I'm done with it.
Yeah.
I've kind of gotten all I wanted to out of this one.
I do understand that.
Yeah. This may sound a little esoteric, guys, than I maybe intended it to. Just fair warning. This is more of a like, a thought exercise of just like, okay, how do I know I'm not going to regret trading this thing in? Because I think that's kind of the biggest fear.
Okay.
Is for a lot of people when they do trade something in. I'm not saying that's always the case, but I do feel like it's that I have at some point.
Just a trade-in remorse.
Trade-in remorse. How can you avoid that? I guess is the biggest thing that I'm asking. How do you avoid trade-in remorse? How do you know you're completely done with this game and it doesn't really matter how much you get. You just, you'll get some credit and you'll put it towards something else that you'll potentially like better.
Okay. So, I've always been a fan of when the new consoles come out, if they have a deal, and you don't care about like giving your old console to somebody else.
Yeah.
Trading that console towards the next one, especially when in the past it was like, oh, well, I mean, you're getting to play all your old games still, right?
Yeah.
So with these next console generations, I'd say it kind of works the same way. That's an easy one to like rationalize.
Yeah, but
right?
that's consoles, and
exactly.
and honestly,
with
this generation, it really, like you said, it's not like you're losing your old games at this point with most of these consoles. Now, Nintendo's a completely different issue, but Nintendo's always done their own thing. Yeah. But anyways, with like PlayStation 5 and Xbox, all of the stuff from last generation, you're not losing those things. So I think that's a different thing, because I wouldn't see anybody having a problem with, okay, well, I'm not going to be using this system anymore. Here you go. I think it's a little bit harder with the actual software.
Well, yeah, and that's what I was getting to. Yeah, is that the hardware I think is easy to justify. That's all.
Absolutely,
I think that as soon as something is sitting around and it's not useful on the hardware side, get rid of it, get something you want.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I mean, I feel like that in all aspects, so that includes musical equipment and that kind of thing. If you're not using it, like figure out how to get rid of it and get something you will use.
Yeah, or give it to somebody that will get use out of it.
Exactly.
Just however, but like specifically on the I'm going to trade this in for credit or cash.
Trading in a game, though, man.
Trading in a game is a little different.
It's a little different.
Okay, so I think it's, depending on the game. Let's say you have this game that you haven't played in a while, but you remember having a really good time with it, but it's just been sitting on your shelf for, say, like, 3, 4, 5 plus years, and it's just been sitting there, but you have all this nostalgic, these feelings, wrapped up in, that game, and all these, happy emotions. Like, you're not just trading in a game, you're trading in, Christmas 1995, with your family, you all sat down and played you're trading in your emotions,
Now, then you have to ask, what is that worth?
Absolutely, yeah.
Because if they say, well, turns out
what fucking trade-in store is going to take a game from 1995?
So there you go. Point? Does Christmas 95 cost, $15 worth of a trade-in for you so that you can go get the new Halo? Is that what it is? Or is Christmas 95 a $150 game that you've had sitting on your shelf that you're never going to fucking play again, and then probably isn't going to go up that much more in recent time? It's pretty much leveled out at about $150 for the past 10 years, and you're like, okay, I guess I'll get rid of Panzer Dragoon Saga.
Yeah, but if you do, yeah.
Yeah,
exactly. But I feel like you would get, that would be more of a benefit of like selling it online,
right? Trading in,
but trading in is a different beast, and that I think needs to be there needs to be a distinction between, I'm just going to sell this online because I can make some money, as opposed to, hey, I'm going to a GameStop to potentially get some credit towards something else, but I know they're not going to give me what the thing is worth, and they're definitely not going to give me
seems to only be worth it for that window of opportunity. Then if you're gonna narrow it down to that, then that means the only time the trading game is worth it is when you bought the new hotness, you played it, you beat it before most people, and you're trading it in while people are still purchasing it.
Absolutely.
For instance, I got Last of Us 2. If I'd got it physically,
you'd probably be trading it in.
I would have traded it in as soon as I got done with it so that other people could play it. Yeah. And I would have been able to get half of that money back, probably.
Absolutely.
That's solid.
Well, and that's why I'm kind of like, okay, I'm totally fine getting rid of Smash Brothers, because again, it's good. It's a good game.
It's good.
Well made.
Uh-huh.
It's just more Smash Brothers. It's the biggest Smash Brothers. It's cool. Good game. But I've gotten all I want out of it.
Yeah.
You know? And now I'm like, and since Nintendo's even Switch games even used do not lose hardly any of their value.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, dude, because, I mean, you go into any of these stores, you look at they're
still full priced?
They're maybe like 52 instead of 59.
Oh, whatever, man.
Yeah, that kind of shit. So I'm just like, I have no problem trading in this game because I know it's probably the one game that I own that I'll get that much for, you know? Plus, I don't have a lot of emotional attachment with that one.
Yeah, see, I think that for me, it seems like the hardware thing's a no-brainer.
Absolutely.
Software in its prime of trade-in time is a no-brainer. And then the third thing to do, which happens way less frequently than it used to, which is finding GameStop's deals, stacking them on themselves, and figuring out how to fuck them out of their money.
Yeah.
That's really the way that they've crippled themselves over the years, and that's part of the reason why they're having trouble like they are now. But man, how many times did you see like a thing where it's like, okay, well, if you trade in this, then you get 3 times bonus points because you have the pro card, and then you get 20% off of all used games, and we have a special where if you buy 3 used games, then you get
by
2
the way,
free.
this is
and
by the way, these specific games are on sale.
And you knock them all, and you stack it all up, and you're walking out of there with a bunch of shit for barely anything.
They don't let
you
you stack quite that much.
They don't let you do it as much. They don't let you do it as much. It used to be a thing where you could like look at stuff. You could actually figure out. They forgot that they were selling to gamers who already like to look at this stuff. And hold on. Sorry about that brief break. Oh no, we're coming through the speakers.
Oh no.
Okay, there we go.
There we go.
Good.
Technical difficulties. Brief break.
And
no.
Yeah, okay, it's all good.
Yeah. Are we good now?
We're good.
We're good. Okay.
Oh, man.
Where we left off?
Everything is weird. No, anyway, they've pretty much changed a lot of their store policies to the point that you're not going to be able to stack up deals, and you're not going to be able to get the same stuff.
Well, and again, like you were saying, they forgot that they were selling to gamers who like to look at that stuff, and we kind of, we
inherently do that.
Optimal gamers, we're looking at we're trying to break the system.
That's it.
Yeah, inherently.
And pretty much all you get nowadays is it seems like them trying to fire sale their used stuff to make as much money as they can.
And that makes sense for the business that they're in. Yeah,
buy 2 get 1 free sales and stuff like that, which that's pretty good if you like older games. You know, there's been quite a few times that I'm just standing at the register trying to get something else, and there's something for, $10, $15.
Yeah,
and I end up getting it just because I don't have it.
Yeah.
I almost bought Anthem because it was like $4.
Oh.
And I was like, I bet that's worth being Iron Man for like $4.
For $4, I'll be Iron Man, yeah.
But I still just don't think in most cases though you're going to get the value you want unless you find a shit ton of games and you're just selling them because, there's a box that I don't care about.
Yeah.
Then you're not going to get something out of it in most cases unless you do that very specific. What are you doing? You're bothering me.
Oh, well,
what are you doing? Sorry, Scott.
This episode's devolved.
He was infiltrating his mic over here.
Right, I'm getting in my mic, man.
Getting in it.
That's what you're supposed to do.
Yeah.
Right?
I can see your mustache.
Isn't this how you podcast?
Well, I can see your mustache and your beard hair stick through the windscreen. It's really silly looking.
Yeah. Feels good on my face.
Anyway, no, I think that selling to mom and pop stores, you're going to get a better offer when it comes to trading anything in.
Well, yeah, and you're also supporting,
local business,
business,
which is
like
great,
which is good,
and you can haggle.
Yeah,
which is my whole point with this whole thing is if you can't barter with somebody about what you're getting the games, what you're trading things for, it's hard to justify it.
Yeah,
unless they have a deal going on.
I gotcha.
But man, if you can go to a local mom and pop, if you can go to a fairground kind of style bazaar. If you have a
flea market,
that was the word I was thinking of.
Yeah,
bazaar. It was a bazaar. It's a it's,
what is this, Final Fantasy 12?
That's right. Take me to your market square.
Yeah.
If you can go to somewhere where you can actually talk to a person who has things and go, well, I'll give you this for this, it's way better,
Yeah.
If you guys
Better
have ever
barters.
been to better barters, if you guys have ever been to cons, where they have the game stuff set up, go in there with some
Guys,
games.
some of those guys will trade with you.
Go in there with a
depending
backpack.
on what you have.
If you got some rare stuff, I bet potentially you could be like, hey man, I got this.
Absolutely.
You don't want those Clive Barker figures, do you? You don't want those.
Not for real. Right?
Not for real. Yeah. And look, I got the limited edition Xbox 360 Death Smiles with the faceplate. So don't you want that?
Don't you want this instead of those?
That's right. But I do really think that it might be a little bit of a hassle. But unless you're like I said, getting one of these deals going on, trading at a good time for a game,
typically you're not going to get the value for what you're trading
not.
in. Anyway.
You need to sell it yourself.
Not even worth it.
Yeah,
and I would say, especially if you have any kind of emotional value that towards
it's hard.
Whatever you're trying to get rid of, it is hard to let go of.
Well, so here let's talk about a really simple one too. Yeah. Is sometimes the list value of what something goes for in a system is not anywhere near what you could get just selling it. Okay,
absolutely, yeah, just yourself.
Because just because they have something. Okay, I have a copy of Ghost in the Shell 2 on Blu-ray, and I showed you this. I looked it up.
Outside of games here.
Yeah, outside of games. It's just trade-in relevancy. It still works, This I found out that this particular version, because it's the only one that has the English dub correct on it, and the subtitle track. Like, there's a couple of things that are better about this version of it.
Yeah.
The original voice actors from the IG Productions, the studio, a bunch of stuff like that.
Yeah.
So it's the sought-after version of this Blu-ray.
Absolutely.
If I sold this on eBay, I could potentially get $300 for this one disc.
Right.
But I could also go to this local video and music games trade-in place called Second and Charles.
Yeah.
And probably get like maybe $10 for this fucking Blu-ray.
Maybe get $10, and that would be in store credit, so you'd have to spend that money there.
That's right.
Yeah. So
that's right.
So at that point, not even worth it.
Not even kind of worth it. Yeah. And there's going to be a lot of that.
And it's not like you really even want to let go of that in any way.
I don't. Yeah. So none of that's good. But if somebody offered me $300 for something that I was emotionally attached to like that, I'd be like, well,
you'd start to consider it.
I might copy this.
Yeah.
Sell you this. But yeah, because I've been thinking about the same thing with all my PS2 games. I've really thought about getting I have a Fatboy PS2, so if I got one of the network adapters and got a hard drive, then I could dump all my games onto it, and then I could just get rid of all those fucking games and not have the physical copies of them.
And then you would have so much space.
I have so much more I'd have a whole shelf or two.
Yeah.
That I could buy more crap to put on.
Yeah, exactly. It's
Yay.
Like, what do you want to replace your old crap with?
New crap.
New crap.
Yay. Then because there's always new crap, right? We need that stuff. No, I'm sorry. It's
But yeah, no. But I get what you're saying.
You have to weigh out this kind of thing. If you have no emotional attachment, like here's one, that Spider-Man game that came out on PS4.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I could have traded it in for I think $25-$30 by the time I got tired of it, because I got tired of it like a month into playing it. I was
I got you. Did you ever finish that one?
No, I got about halfway through. It's a good game.
Yeah.
I don't think that there's a problem with the game. I'm not at all saying anything bad about it. It's good.
It's a good game.
It just wore off for me.
I got you.
Just got to a point.
And some games are like that.
That's it. That's all.
Yeah.
So, don't take it personally if you really like Spider-Man. I think it's great too. I just, open world games, it's hard for me to get through.
To really stay invested in, I think, overall.
Breath of the Wild is really one of the only ones. Breath of the Wild and Metal Gear Solid 5 are two of the only ones I can think of that have kept me through.
Yeah. Really kept you engaged. Yeah.
Still haven't beat Breath of the Wild, but I'm getting there. But man, like, what the fuck was the point I was making?
like you were talking about Spider-Man.
Oh,
the PS4,
yeah. There we go, Spider-Man. Sorry, he swung right out of my head. So now
Nice.
my buddy Neil was talking about how he didn't have that game. And him and his kids wanted to play it, and his wife, and I mean, I didn't want it anymore, so I thought about it, and I could have traded in and got $25-$30 for it. Instead, I was like, fuck it, here you go, you have this.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, at least you know it's going to somebody that's going to actually play it.
Yeah.
You know who it is. You know they're going to enjoy it.
And didn't have the cash to buy it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, and I did the same thing with my nieces and nephews with Pokemon Sword and Shield.
Yeah.
Because I had that for a handful of weeks. Got pretty far. Never beat it.
Yeah.
Enjoyed it. It's a solid It's a fucking Pokemon game.
Is that the one on the Switch?
That's the one on the Switch.
Okay.
That was the newest
Yeah.
one. It's just like it just didn't engage me like I kind of wanted it to. So I was just like, well, my nieces and nephews. I mean, they're kids. They're still like super into Pokemon and stuff, and they probably don't have this game right now. I'll just give it to them.
Yeah.
And I did that, and they've been playing it.
Well, you see, and I honestly,
and that was worth more. And honestly, I
that
probably
worth more than the trade-in. Isn't
worth
it?
more than the trade-in. Yeah.
That was actually my whole point to this is that maybe instead of trading in, we should just be giving our games to people that cannot buy them.
Yeah.
Because especially being
or just somebody that would enjoy it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I tried to trade in some musical equipment the other day, and for a piece of hardware that I could probably get, $250 or something online for, they were gonna give me like $70. They're like, $70 if it looks good.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
it's like
no,
no.
It's cooler than $70. It's just
I'll keep this for the cool factor for $70.
Yeah. so you gotta weigh that stuff out. Then again, this is something I've been laying around for a while that I got to get rid of, and hopefully this little game store down the road will take it. I have this thing called a Novant Falcon.
Oh yeah, I've seen that thing. Yeah,
just look it up, Novint, Novant Falcon. It's a 3D haptics controller that gives you force feedback, and it's really awesome.
Yeah,
but super underused.
There's probably not a huge market for it, which is another wall that you kind of run up against with like mom and pop stores. They also have to weigh out whether or not it's worth them to get it. Whereas if you maybe take that to like a chain store of some kind, they'll probably just take it. Because they can throw it up online and sell it. And
if I could find a chain store that gave a shit about that, but
that's the thing. Yeah.
It's so niche. Like I think I'm gonna have to. So it seems like on the upper end, these things could go all the way up to like $800 online.
Yeah.
More reasonably, they're more like $300-$400.
But essentially, this isn't something that like a lot of people would be
no
one would be looking for it unless they were collectors.
And like the collectors are gonna pay the money though. So that's the thing.
That's the thing. Yeah.
So the one that I have, I'm hoping maybe I can trade for a Switch. I also got a box of shit that I don't want anymore, or that I don't want. Like it's cool, but stuff I don't want. Like I got 3 Game Boys and I got 2 Super Nintendos.
The box of
yeah.
Just random video game stuff.
A whole bunch of Game Boy and Game Boy Advance games, a Super Game Boy, so I'm going to take all this up there and that and hopefully get some more things,
Yeah.
And then I found out that I can get $200 on an Xbox at One X. Maybe if I traded him enough shit, I could get another one of those and then have $400 towards getting a series. And then I'm only spending $100 on the new console.
Exactly.
And that's how you trade shit in.
Exactly. Yeah. That's how you game the system.
But you got to go to like 4 places to do it.
Absolutely,
and then maybe shop online and then maybe stay up until 3 a.m. just to pre-order your Xbox. I think that's about it.
Only the truly dedicated.
You gotta stick with it, guys.
Exactly.
This is
so there's a good way to trade things in. I think ultimately, just make sure you're not gonna regret what you get rid
That's
of.
it. That's Think about
ultimately it.
You
Just think about it. Consider the pros and the cons.
Well, what's that thing? That lady, that Netflix lady, that's all talking about. Does it bring you joy? You have to look at your items and ask if they bring you joy. Do you have any idea what I'm talking about?
I don't know who you're talking about.
Okay, well, it's this lady that does a organizational thing, and her whole idea is that you pick up every object and you go, does this bring me joy? And if the answer is no, well, then throw that shit away.
I gotcha.
So
she's
sense.
One of those people that comes in and helps people unclutter their house, essentially.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, and I think that's good.
And it kind of
broad advice.
It really is. Yeah. You look at it like, does this bring me joy? Do I need it? Will I use it?
Yeah.
But don't throw away your screws.
Never. Keep that shit in a Tupperware thing, just a whole
old
Tupperware,
old peanut butter jar.
Yeah, of just random screws.
Butter container.
And every once in a while, you'll need one.
And you put them in there.
And never throw away a cable.
Never throw away a cable. Never throw it away.
Never know when you're gonna need a cable.
Yeah, that's right. You can always
super old, outdated USB cable.
You might need.
You will need it one of these days.
Just put it in a box. Forget about it. All right, guys. I think that's about it for this one. Scott, you got the roll?
Yeah, guys. Check us out on Spotify and Anchor and anywhere else that you enjoy listening to podcasts. You can also check us out and other Laser Punch podcasts on YouTube. And if you're watching us on YouTube, then please feel free to leave a comment.
Enjoy our new intro and outro. Outro. Our new music.
Our new music.
That's the way
you
we're
should have heard at the beginning of this.
That's right.
Yeah, guys, how about that? How about that for a call to action? Tell us what you think about our intro in the comments below. You and Levi actually recorded that.
We made it. This is our project called VGM, Very Glorious Music Media, whatever you want to M for.
M4, yeah.
And it
can mean many things.
We mostly do video game covers, but we do covers of other things. We do, we have a channel, a YouTube channel that will link somewhere in a thing, and check us out. Tell me what you think.
Yeah, I guess I can do that.
Please.
Yeah. But yeah, you guys got a new track coming up soon.
Got a new track.
So keep an eye out for that, guys.
That's right. It's actually Guilty Gear. The funny thing is that this track right here is a Guilty Gear track.
But I think it works better as an intro.
It does. It already works.
Guys, if you want to hear the preview of the upcoming track, you can listen to our last episode, Micro Stop.
That's right.
And get a little sneak peek.
And we're gonna keep putting them on there. Maybe change them. Maybe not. Maybe we'll see. But thank you guys for listening. We'll see you next week.
Thanks, guys. Bye.